What's up, everyone? Name code Dustin here, Fantasy Smack Talk. Got some big news. We got a new Daily League official partner, and that's DraftKings, and I absolutely love their site. So this is what you got to do to hook us up. All you got to do is either click on the card, it's a card, the card or the little eye somewhere in this video, or go to Fantasy Smack Talk, go to our forums page, just click on the banner ad, regardless of the eye, whatever.
Right at the top.
Eye at the top. Eventually it's going to take you to a site. Click on the banner ad, then sign up. We're going to get the credit, so we love you for that. You get an entry into a $3 contest right up front. It brings it up automatically for you. I did it a couple nights ago. Won 25 bucks first try. You know, fancy expert, like I said. Either way, it's a lot of fun, and you get all the same bonus you get everywhere else, but you help us out, and I really do love how DraftKings lays it all out for you.
And you just got to do a minimum of $5.
Yeah, $5.
$5 to get the free game, but it's a lot of fun. Check it out. What's that? You like that? It's a fancy shirt. But before we get into the must-adds all leagues, this is the time of year where I think it's definitely time to be thinking trades, because there's always at least one or two teams that are down towards the bottom that still care, but just can't seem to figure it out. I mean, obviously there's a couple teams at the bottom that just, you send them trades, they're not gonna do anything. But this is my favorite time of year to try to get someone that's down at the bottom to kind of dismantle their team and take 6 of my players for their 2 or 3 best players. I love those type of trades this time of year.
But it works for both teams, right? If you're down at the bottom, sometimes you need to do that.
Yes,
you can at least talk in a schmo to do it.
There's definitely a case where it makes sense to be on the quantity side of a trade if you're getting upgrades at every position. So I mean, sometimes that's what you need to do, to just kind of have a little fire sale to try to see if you can turn your luck around.
Alright, so let's talk about those must-adds. First one I'm going to talk about is Billy Burns. This kid, ever since he got called up, he's been running mad. 132 at-bats, he's already got 10 bags, and that's what you're going to get with him. If he can hover around 300 as an average, you're going to get a great speed specialist out of him, and he's going to get you bags all year as long as he's in that Oakland Athletic lineup.
And Lance McCullers, what? I mean, the guy just needs to get picked up. He's still only owned about 70% of leagues. I think he's been on this list for a month and a half.
Maybe, at least. At
It
least.
seems like. So I mean, this kid's the real deal. I don't understand. Like for me, it's just so weird sometimes which prospects get the fantasy attention and which ones don't. But this kid is for real. And Houston is playing well. They're winning games.
Winning.
This guy needs to get more attention. Pick him up.
Alright, next one. It's a name that we all know and some might love, some might hate. If you had him last year, you hated him. That's Brandon Phillips. But if you had him many years prior, you probably ended up loving him. And he looks like last year might have been, you know, he's old. Looks like last year might have been a little bit of an aberration, because this year he looks like the Phillips of old, and he definitely has potential to be like a 260, 270 hitter. But where you love him in the fantasy game, 2020. I think he's going to actually end up this year being a 2020 guy, and second base ain't an easy position to fill.
Now let's talk about some people in deeper leagues. Pedro Stopes, I want to talk about. Relief pitcher for the Cubs. Here's the thing. It gets a little bit trickier. It looked like Madden was going to move to Strop and he was going to be his guy maybe. But now Rafael Soriano could be in the mix. But you know, any type of league where closers carry a lot of value, you might want to just pick up Strop and just see if he ends up taking over the job. I think he's only on about 20% of leagues right now, so just kind of a speculative ad. It hasn't been officially done yet, though.
Alright, here's a guy that we thought was going to break out a couple years ago. That's Cameron Maybin. He's 28 years old right now, and like I said, he's had the big pedigree, he's had the potential in fantasy for a lot of years now, but it looks like this, you know, he's 28. He still has a chance to have his quote-unquote breakout season. It could be this year. He's been playing extremely well. At least you just need to pick him up and see what happens. He's on to 60% of leagues. It hasn't been a fluke up to this point. Worth a look.
And another guy that kind of fits in that same boat is Will Middlebrooks. You know, a guy that has a ton of upside, who has shown flashes, but still hasn't quite put it all together. His home runs have been there. His power's been there. The average hasn't. But again, it's a tough position to fill at third base. So he could be a guy, you know, definitely pay attention if you need help over there in the hot corner.
All right, deeper leagues, we're still talking. Austin Jackson here, owned in about 35% of leagues. He's playing outfield for Seattle. Here's the thing about Jackson. Everyone remembered that year that he was batting. It was insane. His on-base percentage was nuts. His average was nuts. And as of late, he's been kind of trailing off, but it looks like he's getting that average slowly creeping back up. He could certainly be a 300 hitter, give you a little bit of pop, a little bit of speed. Overall, just a serviceable player that's probably not going to hurt you. Definitely worth a look in those deeper leagues.
Next guy is a guy that I just can't believe isn't officially the closer yet, but that's Carson Smith. How bad has Rodney been? I mean...
Oh, he's so terrible.
He has been so bad. How do you not just put Smith in there? I mean, he's still only owning 25% of leagues, Smith is, just because it hasn't been officially announced yet. But it's got to happen. I mean, the guy's been pitching great, and he could be instantly a top 15 closer if he gets the job. You got to pick this guy up. You know, I think the upside's certainly there.
All right, talking Byron Buxton of the Twins, outfielder. A lot of upside, a lot of pedigree. Everyone's loving this kid, but there's some good reason, right? He was the 2nd overall pick in 2012. I love those kind of pedigree type of things. But then the other thing that you're going to like about him is the speed. He's going to get you bags, and if you're in a league like a points league that counts extra for doubles and triples, etc., that's where he's going to shine. He can stretch a single into a double, certainly a double into a triple. So you love the speed of this kid. He's got a little bit of pop as well. Keep an eye on him.
And Francisco Lindor is a guy, just got called up as well, only on 20% of leagues. Shortstop, tough position to fill, big prospect. You know, this is a guy that's going to get a lot of attention, you know, a lot like Buxton in terms of just these guys have been top prospects ever since they've been drafted. Now they're finally getting a chance, so everyone's going to run to the waiver wire to get them. But then I got one more, Taijuan Walker, just a guy to keep an eye on. I'm sure you remember what he did, you know, during the preseason in terms of just, he was lights out and the season starts and it's like
what happened?
7 earned runs every time he goes out there. So he's starting to get things going a little bit more as of late. So he, again, a guy to keep an eye on because this guy, we know what he can do when he's pitching well.
So click on the little eye or the card. I think it's over on this side.
It's up there. It's up there.
Over there.
Go
click
to
on that.
fonts.
Hit the banner ad.
Banner at the top. Help us out. Help us out. This guy.